Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Whispering Fishes. I've shortened the fish part just to be able to fit it on the screen comfortably. Now this particular puzzle from Evan, and I think this will be his debut on the channel. I don't think I've actually even personally played any puzzles from Evan before, let alone one on camera. You can guess from the colors of the fish that we are playing with German whispers and Dutch whispers. It is actually a very strong reference to what you'll see in a second in terms of the puzzle, where there's two fish that look like angel fish, basically. On there, one that is very much a German whisper line, one that is a Dutch whisper line. And I kind of wonder what they're whispering about. One thing that I'm thinking they're wondering is, where is Sleuth in this particular thumbnail? And a short answer to that is looking after this dog right here that you can see in the corner, who is once again hiding her head under the couch in fear of any expected fireworks at night. Which is now, right now, so triggered that in essence you don't even need fireworks for her to try and hide, and essentially almost refuses to go into the bedroom because normally she hears that when she's there sleeping. So yeah, a few uncomfortable nights whilst we try and figure out what's going on there. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Whispering Fishes by Evan, and the reference you can see to this kind of angel fish lookalikes with German and Dutch whisper lines, and the following set of rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, and that means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box, so nothing unusual here. German whisper lines, of course, they're going to be in there. Two cells connected by a green line must have a difference of at least 5. So if this cell is a 2, these two neighbors would have to be 7, 8, or 9 to be 5 or more away. Now, of course, you end up oscillating in German whisper lines between, sorry, I'm just adjusting the microphone, between high digits 6, 7, 8, 9, low digits 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back and forth, oscillating around the 5, but never the 5. Now, Dutch whisper lines, two cells connected by an orange line must have a difference of at least 4. So if I repeat the 2 here, for example, well, not only can I use 7, 8, or 9, I can actually even use a 6. Now, it's not true in Dutch whisper lines that you oscillate between high digits and low digits, because I can do things like 5 with 1 and 9 next to them. They are indeed 4 or more away. So don't make the assumption that we oscillate back and forth between high and low digits. That is not necessarily strictly true on Dutch whispers. Killer cages, digits in a cage must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage and cannot repeat. Essentially that means these two cells are adding up to 10. So if that's a 2, that would have to be 8, exactly 8, so that these two cells add up to 10, 9, 8, 10, etc. Then last but not least, we've got the black/white 𝐻𝐫 dots. Cells separated by a black dot must have digits in a 1 to 2 ratio. So if that 1 is here, for example, that would have to be a 2, so that one cell is double the other. A better example, if this is 2, this will be 1 or 4, so that indeed one cell is double the other, and you've got optionality there. If there are white dots, such as this 5, this cell would have to be consecutive with the white dot. It would have to be 4 or 6, so that it is indeed consecutive with the 5. That's all the rules. Oh, it does explicitly say not all dots are given, so what would be a good example that I've written down? Nowhere. Let's say that was a 4. These two cells are 2 to 1 ratio, no black dot, not a problem. Let's carry on with this example. If this is a 3, they're clearly consecutive, no white dot, not a problem. That's all the rules we have for today. As always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. With that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. I'm not actually entirely... Maybe the 9 cage is kind of the more natural break-in. So if you think about 9 cage, and I need two cells that add up to 9. That could be 1, 8, that could be 2, 7, that could be 3, 6, and that could be 4, 5. Now, they are on a German whisper line, so 4, 5, that's only 1 difference. 3, 6, that's only 3 difference. This is 1, 8, or 2, 7. Not brilliant. Let's try something else. Maybe that white 𝐻𝐫 dot will help. Remember, German whisper lines, they oscillate between high and low. Don't know what's high, don't know what's low, but let's just think about what that could be. So let's make the assumption for a second, just, it's an assumption just to sort of try and understand how this is going to work, that purple is low. So that would be 1, 2. That would be 8, 7. And then I'm back to 1, 2, 3, 4. And this would have to be, 6, 7, 8, 9. How's that helping me? I think one thing that it is helping me is because that can't be a 5, it's in a German whisper line. And of course, neighbors of 5 to be 5 or more away would be 0 or 10, neither of which is allowed. This has to be the same polarity. So this cell is purple because of the white 𝐻𝐫 dot. This is purple. This is purple. You can color all of these purple. You can color all of these orange as the alternative. 10 is always made up of a low digit and a high digit, so that would definitely be the opposite polarity. And we're starting to populate quite a few things in here. What we're also not populating, you can see actually we've got 3 orange, 3 purple in column 3. So essentially I have a low digit, a high digit, and a 5 down here. Remember, 5 can actually be on the Dutch whisper line. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything just yet. Can't make any deductions about this. One deduction I can make about this cell is that, of course, because it's a German whisper line, we'll have 1 orange and 1 purple in whatever order. It almost doesn't matter right now. But it means that all the oranges, 4 of them, are done. And then these 2 cells have to be purple and gray. So essentially there's a 5 in here. And remember, there is a 5 in there, which means there are 3 cells in here that include a 5. And it can't be on the Dutch and the German whisper line. So that's forced. That's a 5. Therefore, that's a 3. And therefore, I do now know that orange is low and purple is high. We can get rid of all of this for a second. This would have to be 8 or 9 to be adjacent to the 3, and it can't be a 9 in a 9 cage because that would be 0. So that's 8, that's 1. That can basically be any high digit other than 8, which is already in here. Can't be a 9 because that would be an 8 and that would be a 1, neither of which are allowed anymore. So 9 is off the table, it's 6 or 7. Which would make this 3 or 4, and for it to be consecutive and not a 5 and not an 8, that is 6, 7. This is 2 or 4. Sadly, the 4 is allowed. That could be a double 9 next to it. And in here, I definitely have a 5, I definitely have a 9, and one of 2, 4. Okay. What is this cell? Next to 6 or 7, this of course can't be 6 anymore. That has to be the 2. 6 would require a double 1, but this cell can't be a 1. So that's a 2, which forces this to be 7, which forces this to be 6, forces this to be 4. Remember, I have a high digit in here. Sorry, a low digit and a high digit. So this is 3, 8, 9 with a definite 3, and then this is 5, 8, 9 to complete the box. This has to be 1 or 2 to be consecutive, well, adjacent to the 7 on the German whisper line. This would have to be 1, 2, or 4 to make this black 𝐻𝐫 dot work. 2 could go to 1 or 4. 1 would definitely go to a 2. And then to add this up to 9, well, this can't be 1 Sudoku. So if it's 2, it's 4. If it's 1, it's 2. There's definitely a 2 between these. And the 4 would require a 5 in here, which works. The 2 would require a 7 in here, which also still works. 1 or 2 in here, I don't need these anymore. Let me just get rid of that. Would mean, frankly, it could be anything. 6, 7, 8, or 9, because this could be also, I could have double 1, so that could be a 6. This is at least a 2. So this is slightly more restricted. This is 7, 8, or 9. And this is a high digit that is not an 8. And because it's next to a 2, again, this is 7 or 9. Doesn't help me really in the column. Doesn't give me anything here, doesn't give me anything there. If you're hearing my second dog, that's because she's whinging, asking for a treat. Is that audible? I think it is. So I'm sorry. Give me a second, everyone. Pardon me. So my second dog has a couple of nicknames. One of them is Treat Monster. So I am fully expecting that she'll munch through this in seconds. And don't be surprised if I have to pause again and figure out what to do next. So I'm taking all of this in, and I'm kind of looking at this column thinking, this is tricky, isn't it? Got 2 and 4 up here. This is one of each. So essentially, the maximum I have down here is 1 low digit and then 2 high digits. Now, because I know that doesn't include the 5s, pretty sure that's got to be the low digit, and that's going to be the 2 high digits. Can't really flip them round because the 5's not available. So this is going to be 1 or 3. Again, can't be 2 or 4, that's just plain Sudoku. But then the neighbors can basically be anything other than the 9, which we've already established is in here. And this is a low or high digit, which I know doesn't include the 3, but it could be a 1, and then it could be 6, 7, 9. So I'm not really making great inroads here. Now, again, the 5 is there, so that has to be a high digit. And I'm kind of now wondering if 3 actually works. Because this can't be a 9, since it's here. If I make this 3, I would need 7, 8, and 9 as neighbors, and that's not going to work. So that's definitely a 1. And then these are the 3 high digits in addition to the 9. So that's going to be 6, 7, 8. That's the triple. This can't be 5 next to 6, 7, or 8. So that is a low digit. It's not 5, it's not 9. So this is my second 2, 4. And therefore this would have to be the 9 as neighbor, and then that would be the 5. It seems like there's no other way of solving this based on what we've seen so far. These are blue, and they include a 3 because that's not 3. We've established why that's not 3. So 3 has to be in here in box 1, which means that's low, and these 2 are high. And I've broken the puzzle. I'm so sorry, because I've broken the puzzle because I had a strange moment there. That can't be 3. I've literally done the opposite of what I said. That is a 3, and therefore these 2 are high. These 2 are low. Now, this isn't 3, but could basically be anything else, including 4, because this absolutely could be 9. The only thing that it isn't is an 8. And in fact, because it's a 3, this has to be 8 or 9, and it's not 8, it is definitely a 9, which makes this a 7, which makes this a 2, makes this a 4. A 4 on Dutch Whisper can only be adjacent to 8 or 9, so that is 8. And these are a 6, 7 pair. This also means that this is 2, 3. That's not a 2. This is 1 or 4. Still can be a 4. This 2 means all of these are available. Don't know if I'm being a bit slow today. And this is 1, 4, 6. Yeah, I'm just going to pencil mark for now and just move on in the interest of time. Now, how do I take... I mean, this wasn't exactly the easiest of break-in, but I may be missing something that was a bit simpler. How do I take what I've done on the left-hand side and essentially try and carry to this fish? It's a natural question to ask. Now this black 𝐸𝐞𝐫 dot, I'm pretty sure cannot be 3/6, because whatever's inside the 3/6 would be a 3/6 in here again to be able to add up to 9, and I've just broken it. So it's anything but 3/6. It's 1, 2, 4, or 8, which isn't hugely helpful, to be fair. So that can't be 1 because that can't be 8. 2 works, 4 works, and 8 works with 1. 2 would put a 7. This would be 1 or 4. 4 would be 2 or 8. And all of these are comfortably on the Dutch whisper line, and there's nothing in Sudoku that's helping me here. The 10 cage is also less restrictive compared to whatever we had with the 9 cage. So I can make 1, 9, 2, 8, and 3, 7 work. And there's a lot here that's going on that's helping. Right, maybe we should think about other options. 14 cage. Took me a while. That can't be 5, 9. That is definitely 6, 8. That means that's a low digit. Sorry, that's a high digit. And this can't be 5. It can't be a 5 for a number of reasons. Too close on the Dutch whisper line, and you can't have double 5 inside. In fact, none of these are 5. That's quite helpful. I can actually just color all of these. Now, I showed in my earlier intro that this could actually be a 5 with 4, 6. So I can't make an assumption like I did here that this is the same polarity. That can actually be a 5. But what does all of that mean? 6 or 8 can't be 4. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is 7, 8, 9. I'm actually not sure I can make this 3. Can I? That would be 8. That would be 7. Yeah, I'll be fine. And then 7, 8, 9 means it's not 3. It's 1, 2, 4. And this will go with 6, 8, 9. Then 1, 2, 4, including the 4, can actually jump onto 5. So this is certainly possible. 1, 2, 3, 4 in here and 5. Because that can't be 9, tells me almost certainly that this has to be the low digit. No. Sorry. Let me just think this through. If this is 5, that's 1. And if this is 1, 2, 3, or 4, that's 8. I think what I'm saying is they can't be 2 or 4. That part is true. 2 or 4 can't be 4 or more away from any of these options. Now, because this is 1, 8, that can't be 8. This is 2, 4. And therefore, what am I removing? The 1, I think. Yeah. How did I include that 2? That's 4. That's 5. That makes this 8. That means 5 is off the table. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a low digit that is not 2 or 4. This is 1 or 3. 1, I mean, that can't, neither of these could be 5. So I can actually continue with coloring all of these. Because that can be 1, I can put a 5 here. So need to watch out for that. That's low, that's high. That can't be 5 either, so I can actually continue with the oscillation. 6, 8 pair means that this is 7 or 9. And both are comfortably okay. This is not 1 or 4, this is 2 or 3. And again, 3 even works next to 7, so not much of a restriction. That is not 8, this is 6, 7, or 9. And then the availability of a 1 here doesn't really restrict this much either. Low digit in here, which again can be anything, especially with a 9 in here. Interesting puzzle. Dutch whispers, they're not my strong suit. Sometimes it takes me a long time to spot things, such as column 7. That's the only place for a 5. Can't place it on the German whisper line. I have 1 of each. I'm just checking if there's any real restriction. I think the answer to that is yes. I can't make any of these 6 because even if this is 6, it would require a double 1, which is obviously not possible. So the only place for a 6 in column 7 is in here. So that's the 6, that's the 8. That can't be 3 anymore. Therefore, that can't be 7. That actually remains very open because that's made it easier to place whatever we want in here. And this is 7, 8, 9 with not any. I can't place a 4 in any of these. Same reason as the 6, because it would require a double 9. So no 4. So this is 1, 2, or 3 with 7, 8, or 9. If this is 1 or 3, so if this is low, this will be the 2. And this would be 7, 8, or 9. This would be 7, 8, or 9. That's possible. And if this is the low digit, this is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is not helpful. Right, more shades of purple and orange. And again, it takes me a while sometimes to see some of the obvious things. What is this cell? This can only be 1, 9. On a German whisper line, when you have all 4 neighbors, you have to have the most permissive digit in here. That's all the purple digits gone. So this is all orange, whatever that means. Now, if orange is low, that would be the 2, that would be the 4, and it's not possible because that's, I didn't color it because it wasn't a German whisper line, but I've got 3 low digits. Whereas digit 4, well, it can't be orange, that would be 5 of them. So purple is low, orange is high. That is the more permissive option of 1, 2, 3 in here. That is definitely the 9. All of these are 1, 2, 3, 4. This is another 2, 4 though, and that can't be 4 because that would require a double 9. So that's 2, that's 4, that's 5, that's 2. That can't be 2. 3 actually works because I could place an 8 in here. But essentially this is only 7 or 8 since I've got a neighbor of 2. One of these is a 6. We can't actually tell which one. But this is 6, 7, or 8. This is not the 4. That's the 4. This is the 1, 3. 9 in here gave me an 8 there. That's a 5, 9 pair. Don't need the corner pencil marks. And in here, it's a 5, which Sudoku says is there. And that's a 7. Excellent so far. High digit in here. No idea. 5. I should probably double check my Sudoku again. I've probably left quite a bit on the table actually. It's making my solve a bit harder than it needs to be. That's not a 7. These are all high digits. In fact, that is another high digit, isn't it? Which is not 7 or 8. This is 6 or 9. That can't be a 6 because it's next to a 2 and it's not 7. That's 8 or 9. Can't force anything other than there is a 9 in one of these 2 cells. And then 6 is across boxes, so I'm not going to pencil mark this. Have I done anything with the 1, 4, 6s? I've done something with the 8 in here. This low digit is very permissive still. And I still can have double 9 with a 4, so ignore. No 8, no 2. 1 would go to 2, 4 would go to 3. There is no 4 in the column, except here now. That's 4, that's 6, that's 3, that's 1, that's 3, that's 2, that's 8, that's 7, that's 9. Lovely stuff. That's not a 7. That can only be 7 or 9. It can't be 8. This is a 6, 8 pair. Don't need the corner pencil marks. 5s. One of these is a 5. Can I put the 5 on the Dutch whisper line? It would make this a 1 because it can't be a 9. And this would be 1 or 9, all of which is feasible. So I can't rule this out. I can rule out a 5 from here. Can't rule it out from there because I can still place 5, 1, 5, 1 or 9. In fact, it is definitely on the Dutch whisper line. That's a 5. That can't be 9, so that is a 1. That can still be a 5. So my solution here is, or my example here is entirely feasible. Not 4. So 1, 2, and 4. Actually, no, let's think about this. This is 5 or 7, isn't it? In fact, the 9 actually gives me a 7. This can only be 5. Because that's the remaining low digit, which is 3. That is a 5. This is 1 or 9, which I can resolve because that's a 1 and that's a 9. And then I have in here 1 something. I mean, that's 6, that's 4. 1, 6? No, not 6. 1, 2. Still resolvable. 2, 1, 3, not 6. Both are still available, I believe. And we're very nearly there on the home stretch now. Like a slightly slow solve for me, but you know, fairly logical steps along the way. That's a 6. That 9 gave me the 7. This has to be 1 or 2. It's not 2. That's 1. That 9 gave me 8 and 9. I mean, we're resolving all the pencil marks pretty much at this point, so time to actually add in some more. Right, I need 2, 3, and 4. 2 and 4. I need 1, 8. That's the 8. That's the 1 and 7. I need a 2, which can only be in here. I need 6 and 9. That's the 6. That's the 9. I need a 1, 3, and if I've not made any mistakes, oh, hang on, I kind of forgot about this. That's a 6 for the finish. Beautiful puzzle, Evan. Worthy of the 92% rating as of the time of recording. You know, fairly straightforward solution path, but like involved. So, you know, definitely 1 star, but doesn't exactly fall apart that easily. You do have to sort of systematically work your way through it. Admittedly, my Sudoku blindness does mean that I've made it harder for myself than it probably would be for a lot of the other solvers on this channel. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.